superhero comics, it's what I constantly say in Superman, is nothing is impossible, there's always a way. And I think, you know, that's one of the, it's not a superhero thing, that's the great thing about people, that no matter what situation you can find yourself in, there tends to always be a way, you know, there's always a way of elevating your own perspective, or thinking about it differently, or making it better, or making it more useful. And as I say, that's what they mean to me, that's the only function they have. I don't have to believe that they're real in the form of paper, and that's good enough because they can inspire people in that form. And that's what they are to me. Anything is possible. There's always a way. Those two sentences, that's what superheroes tell us.
Great. Well, thank you.
You're welcome, thank you.
Hi, Grant. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, how are you doing?
Right? No, I'm just like, wow, I'm loud already, so it's like a struggle. I'm Connor, I'm from here in New York, not right here, but generally here.
Just ambiently?
Yeah, exactly, like in the general vicinity. I'm a big fan. New X-Men was coming out when I was a teenager. It was really important to me. I wanted to be Emma Frost when I grew up. I'm still working on it. And, you know, Seven Soldiers, I don't think anyone's done anything as good at DC since, so thank you for that.
Thank you.
But my question actually, the character I've missed most since the relaunch, the New 52 stuff, is Renee Montoya. And I really liked what you did with her in Final Crisis.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering if you had any ideas for her in the future. Obviously she can't be the question now, so it's like very up in the air, and Greg's not at DC, so I just sort of am looking for anyone who might want to pick that character up.
I don't really have any plans. I mean, as you say, in Final Crisis, I kind of wanted Montoya to join the Global Peace Agency in that book, and she could move on that way, but Greg wasn't really into it because it was too super heroic and he wanted to keep her grounded.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I always kind of felt that was Greg's character, you know, he put a lot of himself into it, and I didn't feel that it was something that I would want to change or to push around, because it really felt so much connected to him. So really, you just have to call Greg up and demand that he's...
I bothered him last year about it. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna come back every year and be like, where is she? God. Anyway, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
It's been a privilege.
I'll try and slip her in somewhere.
Yeah, thank you. Really, because she's been on a missing in action wall for like a year now, and we'd like to know where she is.
Pretty much. She must be back in Gotham Central somewhere, surely.
Right? So, thank you.
All right.
We've got about 5 minutes, so you can take a couple more questions.
A couple more.
Hi, Grant.
Hi.
I'm Stephen from Virginia.
Hey, Stephen.
And I was just wondering, you had, a while back you had made some comments on Batman's sexuality. I was wondering...
Come to the conclusion that of course Batman isn't any of these things, because he's a fictional character who's actually an adventure hero, and he's not a porn character, you know, he's not a sex story character, so we see very little of that. It's unimportant. You could tell 80 years of Batman stories and never mention his sexuality, I think. So it's not important, but of course, I mean, Playboy wanted to go for the big headline, and it was Batman is super sexy gay, says Grant Morrison. And now I have to defend this?
Were you ever going to revisit some of the ideas you had, so as well as the victory, about coincidence and as a tool for fighting evil?
Say that again?
Or some of the idea you had in Seven Soldiers of Victory about using kind of coincidence and appearance of coincidence and chance as a tool.
I've always felt that everything I do is about that, you know, because if you look up the dictionary definition of coincidence, it doesn't mean anything. And yet we use that word an awful lot, coincidence. To me, coincidence sounds like magic, you know, you can't define it for me. So yeah, I've often thought that a lot of the stuff that I write is about what we call coincidence.
My name's Gavin, I'm from...
Your championing of animal rights is pretty much what keeps me into it.
Good, good.
But from something huge, something big like Buddy Baker to We Three to even just a fight sequence in the meatpacking district, and Damien back out. Is that something that you just
Good
do?
old back out.
Is that something that you just do to say like I'm gonna introduce it to people that don't generally think about it, or you just do it? And do you ever get flack for doing it?
I don't think I actually haven't ever had flack from it, and I don't really look for it, so maybe there has been, but no. I did it because, for the reasons you say, I've got the opportunity. Damien's a popular character, wouldn't it be great to just suddenly expose him to this? you know, and see how he feels about it, and maybe that'll affect some people who are reading it. So yeah, definitely, that's why I do that stuff. I think it's important to go constantly point over there, you know, and defend our animal brothers.
Does anyone ever say they became an animal rights activist because of your writing?
I'm sure people used to say in the past, particularly in Animal Man, not so much recently, but I'd like to think, you know, that was happening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks to everybody who we didn't get to your questions. Sorry. Where are you going to be for the rest of the weekend? Are these people going to be able to track you down?
Yes, I'll be
Where will you
here.
be?
I'll be here. If you've got a question, just come up and ask me in the hall. So.
I want to thank everybody for coming out. Brett Morrison.
Thank you.